Hey y'all, this is Shiree Williams. I am currently a doctoral student at the University of Texas at Austin, where I started in the fall my first year. So pretty excited about that journey.
Thank you for not making that a very long intro.
You know, I do what I can.
Welcome to Sketchbook Podcast, a discussion about inspiration and process with artists, creators, and designers. As usual, I'm your host, Daniel Montoya Jr. Shiree, you are the first guest in Sketchbook Podcast history that, aside from meeting once before a UT game and us being friends on Facebook, which means, of course, we're friends, that I don't know personally. Like, I don't have a long history with you. So this is going to be very exciting because I'm going to learn so much about you through our conversation today. And I've already learned so much about you based on your incredibly smart outfit that you have worn today. And I would like you to stop at footwear, but I'd like you to describe what you are wearing today for the recording session.
So Daniel, first of all, thank you for allowing me to be on your podcast. This is really an honor.
Dozens of people are excited about this.
So my outfit today, honestly, I was in the shower and I thought about it. I was like, So I went to my closet and I'm like, I'm going to pick this, I'm going to pick this, and then pick the shoes. It was just really that simple. I usually don't pick it before, like the night before. It's moment's notice.
I see.
So the outfit I have on is all denim.
Yes, it is.
What folks in Texas like to call, I think, the Texas
tuxedo.
I'm like, I've never heard of that. But all denim, and the shirt I have on, of course, it's a button down, and it has all these different colors of denim, so it's different on each side of the shirt. And then the jeans, of course, are all denim. And the shoes...
Don't talk about the shoes yet.
Oh, I can't talk about shoes.
No.
But the outfit, okay. So the outfit is all denim. It's awesome. I will probably take a picture and post it somewhere. I don't know.
Yes.
Who knows?
Yes. You're also wearing some really cool transparent glasses.
Oh, snap. Yes. So Warby Parker.
I have Warby Parker. I subscribe to them.
I love Warby Parker.
Absolutely.
I have like 5 pair. But the transparent glasses, they're pretty awesome. All clear glasses are great. I love what the frames look like on my face. And then I have like this nice...
It is very nice.
Fossil watch.
I noticed that.
Silver, nice, clean look. I like the simple looks, really.
No, I think
they
great.
speak the best, honestly.
Sure.
Sometimes I go for the, out of control.
Yeah, UT games. Yes, I got you. Yeah, the fringe, the cowboy hat. Yes,
shake a little bit.
I hope it doesn't offend anybody that's been on this podcast before, but you are by far the best dressed guest of all time.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that.
Yes, I appreciate good fashion.
Same.
Yeah. I don't know why men don't think they can dress well. Come on.
I honestly
Jeez.
don't understand that.
I don't get it.
It's funny because I didn't always dress this way.
Oh.
It was when I was well, of course, my mom and dad taught me, like, you always have to look your best. And
yes, of course.
Make sure that you're ironed and you're polished and all of that stuff before we left the house. So when I went to college, I was like, I'm going to wear like basketball shorts and a t-shirt. And then my best friend, she said, Shiree, you always have to look your best. You always need to take pride in what you look like. And that's from what you wear, how you speak, all of that. And from that moment, I was like, okay. So 8:00 a.m. music theory classes, I was dressed to a T.
There you go.
And people were like, what is wrong with you? Like,
you got a court date today? What's going on?
Like 7 a.m. I was like, yeah, I did. But it's always followed me. And so I take that to heart.
I love it.
Everything.
Again, you are listening to the fashion podcast here, Sketchbook. I would love to talk about fashion all day.
Same.
Granted, now I'm getting a haircut later, which is why I'm wearing a hat. And they always get hair. Now I feel, usually I'm like better dressed than my guests. So we should pause this now and go change. You're right.
You didn't even help you coordinate an outfit.
Oh my God.
I'll be your stylist.
My friends are going to clown me on this. Like, oh man, Shiree took you to town on this. Yeah. All right. So Shiree, you are from the great state, not football wise, but the great state of Georgia, right?
Yes.
What's the city you're from?
Waycross, Georgia.
Now, for those of us that don't know anything about Georgia geography, where is that?
So Waycross, Georgia is, where Savannah's located?
I know of Savannah, and I know where Atlanta is.
So from Atlanta, I'm 4 hours south. Okay. And that's right there near the Georgia-Florida border.
Oh, okay, yes.
And Waycross is where I grew up. It's where I became me and developed and grew and all of that stuff. Right. Also, we have a swamp. I don't know if you've ever heard of this swamp. It's the
I've heard of
Okefenokee swamp.
Oh, no, never heard of that.
That's what our town is kind of known for, the Okefenokee swamp.
Wow.
Yeah, and our mascot is like a possum. So that
All
tells you a lot
right.
about.
All right. I'd hate to dress up in that outfit every August in Georgia. I can only imagine what that's like.
It's
All right, the swamp.
something.
So you are from Georgia. So that means that you are a Texas transplant.
Yes.
So I have some questions that I like to ask everybody. I usually do at the end, but we're going to get to know each other before we get into the hard-hitting questions. So
Let's do it.
As a Texas transplant, I want to know your thoughts on the following things.
Okay.
Torchy's tacos.
They're good. They're good. I like them.
Okay. All right. Chewy's.
Chewy's is okay in a pinch.
Taco Cabana.
They're all right.
All right. Whataburger.
Whataburger. You know what? I just had a patty melt the other day, and it was delicious. So I really enjoy Whataburger.
Good. That's good. Mighty Fine Burgers.
Haven't had it.
Oh, okay. All right. P. Terry's Burgers.
P. Terry's is okay.
Ooh, that was a pregnant
It's
pause.
you know what? It's
A 9-month
okay.
pregnant
It's
pause.
okay because sometimes it reminds me of McDonald's, and oh God,
And you
McDonald's.
love McDonald's. Oh,
I hate McDonald's.
McDowell's? Come on, man.
But P. Terry's is okay in a
Okay.
pinch.
All right. That's fine. Rudy's Barbecue.
Rudy's, their brisket sandwich is fine.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'll eat it.
Salt Lick Barbecue.
Salt Lick is good. I'll go there and eat and drink and be fat. I don't care.
Franklin's Barbecue. Have you done it?
Franklin's, I haven't tried it just because like the line is always
Yeah.
out the door. So
You got to do that. You
Yeah,
got to do it once before you die.
I got to try it. At least.
Plucker's Wings.
Pluckers is fine. I don't think they cook their wings well enough.
Really?
Honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. They're probably going to
They're my favorite wing place in Austin, but I'm
Really?
well, I don't like Buffalo Wild Wings. I will not go there. The place that my friends say they like Wingstop.
You know
And there's
what?
one right down the street.
Wingstop is okay, but you got to try Wings Up.
Wings Up?
It's over by the HEB off 41st.
Okay.
And I don't know what it is about those wings, but they are the best wings I've had since being here.
I might go after this. I
just
literally
saying.
might go to this. Wings Up. you
Wings
say.
Up and
Okay.
have them cooked like crispy.
Crispy. I got to tell them crispy.
Crispy.
Crispy. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I will find out.
All right.
This is very exciting. I've learned about. So, what would you say is maybe some of your favorite restaurants, either fast food or casual, or like creme de la creme down here in Austin or in the Texas area, since you were in Dallas for a while?
So here in Austin, I really love this one restaurant. It's beautiful atmosphere, beautiful crafted drinks, beautiful food, I think. And
Okay.
I happen to know the owner too.
Oh, wow. Humble brag.
Peche.
Oh, yes.
It's
yes.
fantastic. Like, it's fantastic food, fantastic atmosphere.
Right.
And it helps when you know the owner and
Yeah.
those that work at the bar, and they're like, here's a drink on me. And I'm like, okay.
Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Yeah, so Peche is one of them. I've been to a series. I have some in my phone that I like to keep track of because I can't remember things.
Right.
I have a terrible memory, David. So, but I can get you those other restaurants.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not going to help people on this podcast.
I know.
What are some places that you tried that you're like, I'm really, I'm fine. I'm good. Thank you.
Let's see. I can't really think of one at the moment just because I like to read reviews before
Yelp
I go.
reviews? You do
Yelp
Yelp?
reviews and Google reviews.
Yeah.
And if they don't have like a consistent, succession of reviews one after the other, I tend not to go. So
That's smart.
Yeah.
You're a Georgia native.
Yes.
You've established.
Yes.
So I have a question I'm going to ask you that I don't actually ask anybody else because you're from Georgia. The first time I went to Georgia, I discovered Zaxby's, and I loved Zaxby's. And then they put some over here, but they're like not even in Austin. They're like
Right.
in Cedar Park and San Marcos and whatever.
Right.
I have always said that I prefer Zaxby's to Chick-fil-A. So this is a 2-question. How do you feel about Zaxby's compared to Chick-fil-A? Because Chick-fil-A is a Georgia thing. And because you're from Georgia, so you either got to defend her honor or not, the Popeye's chicken sandwich versus Chick-fil-A. So let's get into Popeye's, Zaxby's, and Chick-fil-A.
you know what? Let's do this. So
Wow, you're
so funny story.
Yes.
I was employed at Zaxby's as I was matriculating through high school. And I loved working at Zaxby's. I really did. It was, once upon a time, they wanted to make me a manager. And I was like, no, I got to go to college.
Mr. Manager. Wow, yeah.
And do music.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, sure.
But anyway, loved Zaxby's. I gained like 20 pounds working at Zaxby's because I would eat the chicken and toast.
Oh,
almost
I would
every
just
day.
eat the chicken and toast. That's really all it is.
And the fries are good too with the Zax sauce. Oh my God, you gotta have it. So I worked there for the longest, and then even part of my undergrad, I came back in the summers, and I would work there in Waycross, Georgia. Now,
Waycross,
we had a Zaxby's. So I really enjoy Zaxby's quite some bit. I think it's so much better than Cane's.
Oh,
which
I don't even
Cane's
talk
is a
about
terrible play.
If you need to put sauce on your chicken's not that good.
Right. I don't understand that.
No.
So Zaxby's compared to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, here we go. Round one.
I think that Zaxby's chicken is much more flavorful.
Agreed.
I think the fries, the seasoning that they used at Zaxby's, I say we because I don't know.
You never leave.
You know, I'm still working there.
Yeah.
But but the season they use on the fries, I mean, everything is fantastically done. I think at Zaxby's.
I agree.
Chick-fil-A, now they have their things and you know what they're known for, the original chicken sandwich or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
It's cool and I'll eat it every now and then. But if we had a Zaxby's here in Austin, I would probably be there all the time.
I would too.
And would be really fat. So
don't go clinic in Cedar Park because you would pass a Zaxby's all the time.
And I would probably go.
Do you have your card, like your former employee card, and you give them a handshake or
I don't
a hug
have
or
that.
something?
But it's weird because every time I go back to Waycross, which isn't really often, but when I do go, the manager is still there.
Seriously?
That I worked with.
Wow.
Yeah. And so she will like comp me a meal and like we'll talk and because I think I was one of her favorite employees.
Probably the favorite
so.
employee. Yeah, you were the heir and then you left.
I know. Then I left and the people got sad. But anyway, I love Zaxby's. I think it's great. Not to say Chick-fil-A isn't. I just have a preference.
Right. Well, I did ask you to rank them. So now we go to round two, the final round here. There's the Popeyes chicken sandwich versus the Zaxby's, I guess.
Can I say that I've never had the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
I haven't either.
And I don't think I want to have
I don't either. I think it's like when people tell you to see this movie, it's so good. And you're like, it's never going to be as good as everyone's saying. And so I'll just let it exist like Schrodinger's cat, right? Like, I don't know if it's good or bad. And if I don't try it, I don't have to worry about it.
I don't think I want it, to be quite honest with you. And plus, I've never really liked Popeyes.
Really?
To be honest.
I always get like the box of the spicy chicken and a loaf of bread.
Oh, God, I can't. It's something about it that I just couldn't connect with when I've tried it.
Sure.
And a lot of friends be like, "Hey, let's go to Popeyes and get this," and I'm like, "Oh, gross, Popeyes."
Oh my! All right, so Popeyes will not be sponsoring you later on in life. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so it appears you're going to Spain. What's that all about, huh?
So, I've always just wanted to visit, and I've made it a thing that every spring break or every summer that I need to go out of the country.
Do it.
And just because I never really got to do that growing up, we would go to places in, the United States, and I did contests and stuff that I was participating in. Of course, I traveled throughout the U.S., but never anything outside. So when I got of age, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And so Spain has been one of those places that I've wanted to visit. Yeah. So in March, I'll go to Madrid for about 3 days and then Barcelona for 4. And I'm just going to tour the city and do all the things that Madridians and Barcelonians do and eat a lot and drink a lot.
I can only imagine. I want to go to Spain. And I've heard people say Barcelona is like, well, I have a wife and a kid. And I mean, you want to babysit?
They can come too.
Oh,
come on.
Yeah. You definitely want to go to Spain with a 3-year-old. That's for sure. No, that's exciting. I look forward to living vicariously through you.
I will post pictures.
I'm sure. I have no doubt. Yes. So, as you mentioned, you are currently a doctoral of musical arts candidate in when conducting at the University of Texas at Austin. Shiree's dancing right now. Yes. He didn't say hook 'em, which is it's not ingrained in you yet.
I mean, not quite.
Not quite. So let's talk about. But first, I want to talk about Texas chili.
Okay.
Just Texas chili. Do you like Texas chili?
I haven't had much of it to have an opinion.
Okay.
So
just all right. Well, there'll be a follow-up later.
There that is.
Okay. So we're working backwards in your timeline here. So you were a teacher. You are a teacher. You were a public school teacher.
Yes.
And then you moved up the ranks and you got your master's and what now? So you're getting your doctorate. Why did you decide to get your doctoral of music arts? And not just UT, but why do you want to be a DMA? What's the deal with that?
Well, really, it's always been a dream of mine to have the doctorate. It's been a personal goal of mine to get my doctorate. I'm the first really in my family to, go to college, to receive an advanced degree, and to receive an even more advanced degree. So it's always been one of those things that, Shiree, you're going to go get your doctorate. And you're going to do it, and you're going to do it well. And so also the other side of it is we kind of have to have our doctorates to work at the collegiate level.
Correct. Yeah.
It's just one of those prerequisites.
Nowadays.
So, now it is, right. You can't go on with your master's or undergrad anymore. Those 1950s eras are over. But yeah, so that's the huge reason. And of course, I've always wanted to come here at UT Austin for that degree. I've told many people that this is my dream come true school.
Oh, okay.
Not many people know that, but I've told a few people.
Everyone's gonna know.
It's my dream come true school. I'm working with my dream come true teacher, and I'm doing it with my dream come true team. My cohort, my friends, my family. So it's been a huge honor and a huge time, I'd have to say, being here at the University of Texas at Austin.
That's awesome. So what is your favorite thing about UT so far?
Let's see. My favorite thing? Honestly,
You've never sat back and go like, oh,
I never really, well, the thing is, people will think like Texas football, and they're like, oh, you get to be a part of that. And I'm like, yeah, it's football.
Sure. I mean, we all know the answer is Ogechi, but for let's be real. There's got to be some other reason.
Of course, Ogechi's great. She's my roommate, by the way. So,
is she really?
Yeah, we're always together.
So why didn't she show up then? Oh, brother.
She's on business, but that's neither here nor there. But my favorite thing about it.
Yeah. Why is this so hard? Everything's your favorite?
I really enjoy it all, to be quite honest. I mean, I love the teaching aspect. I love getting to connect with the students. I love learning from all of my teachers there. The experience, all of it is just really rich and it's full of quality, and I love it a lot. I mean, from being in my musicology classes to being in my theory class, to being in wind literature, all of that stuff is really great. And even serving as a TA for the ensembles in different classes that, we're given authority to do so. I mean, it's great. All of it's really good. So,
okay. All right. It's a cop out.
Yeah.
All right.
I tried.
That's fine. Is there a least favorite thing about UT?
Least favorite?
I assume it's parking.
Parking is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I bought this parking pass, and it doesn't do anything because if you're not there at like the crack of dawn, you're not going to get a parking
I ended up just
spot.
Parking in the garages and paying because I was only there like 3 days a week anyway when I did my master's. So yeah. So
I just park in either the garages, or I pay for that like parking space, the Park and Go or whatever that app that you use.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is a really great use of my money.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So
don't build more parking garages.
Thank you, UT
like
Transportation.
Yeah. It's probably Austin's fault too. I mean,
probably
we're in the town. So, how about Big 12 football? Huh? What's that like?
Big 12 football. To be quite honest with you, I'm not a huge football fan, and I know I'll probably get like tarred and feathered for saying that, but I'm really not. I've learned to appreciate it just because it will always be a part of my job.
I was going to say, yeah. That's going to be your first job out of the gate.
Yeah, and so just understanding, at least the structure or the layout of the game. Like, oh, that's a touchdown. And,
right.
Oh, that's a field goal. And oh, you don't want to play there just because we're on offense. You don't want to play that song.
Yeah.
Play this other song. So I know pretty much just the layout.
Gotcha. All right. That's fine. Whatever. It's not like they're very good, right?
Yeah, I don't keep up with it all. And this season, it was really disappointing, especially as my first.
Yeah, so you're the jinx, basically.
I think I brought,
You did. It's
either
either you or Ogechi, one of the two.
It's probably Ogechi.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Ukazu.
Ukazu, yes. We one day she'll be on here, and I'm going to take her to task on a lot of things.
She loves football.
Oh, does she?
Loves it.
Oh, well.
Loves it so much.
Why she doesn't invite me to any games or whatever.
Well,
I'm there every game anyway, but I'm in the seats.
Yeah, well, you need to, get get down there on the field. Let me know.
I don't want to use and abuse my connections for passes. I have a friend who has a friend, and they came down on the field because not to see UT, but to see a visiting school. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
I'm not going to do that. Now, if UT's good again and you go to a big game, I'm going to be holding your bag or whatever someone needs to do. I will take you up on that offer. But for now,
you're just going to sit back.
Yeah, I'll sit back. So, Shiree, what do you think is the most overrated thing about Austin so far?
The overrated thing about Austin.
Don't worry, Austin's not listening. So,
tacos.
Oh, what's interesting is I know that the Austin tacos aren't the best.
Yeah.
Even though I'm an Austin native, but I'm also Mexican. So I know El Paso or San Antonio or the Valley. But it's weird. Some people think Austin has really good tacos.
It's like when you think about Austin, they're like, oh, tacos. It's so good. They're great there. And then, that whole Austin is weird thing too. Yeah. So, which it really is weird. I'm finding that it's much more laid back and chill than what I'm used to.
I'm sure.
Just because Dallas is a bit more bourgeoisie, as I like to say.
The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So, yeah, it's different.
That's fine. What's the most underrated thing about Austin, maybe?
Underrated?
Is there anything that you're like, why don't more people know about this?
I can't really think of anything that's super underrated.
Right.
I think it's Austin.
It's fine. Now, Shiree, in your biography, you don't list what instrument you play. What's your primary instrument?
Saxophonist.
Saxophone?
Yeah, I'm a saxophonist. I know. I really wish that I would have played like either horn or clarinet.
Probably help you a lot more now.
I
don't know.
But saxophone's great. It's marvelous. It taught me everything I need to know. And yeah, I'm able to share with others.
Sure, yeah. And the thing about sax is there's not a lot of y'all out there. So, yeah.
That's a lot.
Nobody picks alto sax in 6th grade.
Everybody wants to play alto saxophone. It's crazy.
I don't know what it is. It's probably Careless Whisper. I think that's what it is.
It's funny because when I taught as a middle school band director, I had to come up with this plan to have people stray away from alto saxophone.
Correct.
That's the instrument they all want to play. And then Careless Whisper, how do these kids even know that?
Yeah, it's like 30 years old, 40 years old now. Yeah.
I'm like, why do you want to? I had students who were like, Mr. Williams, I want to play Careless Whisper for you. And I'm like, no.
I thought the kids want to play those Jason Derulo songs that use a saxophone, but
they want to play Careless Whisper. And I'm like, okay, well.
It's probably there's a sexy sax man meme that went on years ago. Everything's coming back around. So,
I guess.
Whatever. So
you have to arrange something, Careless Whisper.
Well, if only there was a major university down the street from here that could inquire or use my services, but whatever.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, no. And if only I had conductors in the area that would play my music. So
and I can't think of any.
I can't either. We'll get to that later. So you have a master's of music and conducting with a wind emphasis from the University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music in the great state of Ohio.
Yes.
Tell me about Ohio chili.
Ohio chili, I did not eat it.
So you've ruined my 2 chili questions here. I wanted to talk about the differences.
I did not eat it. I thought that it looked disgusting. I thought that it smelled disgusting. I just did not want to even take part. And some people, they would argue me down that it's the best thing that they've ever eaten.
I've gotten in discussions with people.
And I'm like, I don't see how you eat that. Yeah. It looks like dog food.
My dog food is better than that. What that looks like.
I can't bring myself to.
We've lost the entire state of Ohio at this point.
We probably have
turned off.
And you know what? That's okay.
Your first job will be at Ohio State or something like that. And they're like, "Here's your chili," and you got the cameras are on you, and you're like, "Oh, here we go." That's right. You're crying.
Right in front of them.
So yes, we are back to the fashion and food podcast here. Yes. So now, because the timeline isn't listed on your bio, did you do your master's in how did that fit in your teaching, teaching at the middle school, teaching at the high school? Where did the master's fit?
So actually, when I left undergrad, I went straight into master's
Gotcha.
program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
And I didn't start at Cincinnati first. I started at Indiana State University first.
Go whatever they are.
Yeah, Sycamores.
Oh, go Sycamores.
So I started there, and I ended up leaving that institution for this opportunity at CCM that was presented to me. And so I started my master's program over, and it was the greatest time of my life. I learned so much from Dr. Price, who's a great mentor of mine. And I learned so much from the students that were there because, I mean, they're marvelous players. I mean, they recruit the best.
They're good.
I mean, every ensemble from, the wind orchestra to the Philharmonia orchestra to opera. Oh my God, the productions that they would put on there were stellar. So my time there was a great time, and I learned quite a bit. And so went straight from the undergrad to the master's.
Gotcha.
And after that,
whoa, we're not.
okay,
I will direct the conversation.
Well, hey, shoot.
Sorry, he's drinking an Orangina. There's
over.
no liquor in there.
I was thinking there was some vodka in here.
There should be.
I thought you spiked it or something.
Well, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's 5 somewhere.
That is correct. That in probably in Spain. So I want to know what takes a boy out of the South to the Midwest. Because my brother is the same way. He did his undergrad here, and then he went to Michigan State. It's like, I'm going. So it's like you went all the way. You went to the Great White North. Yeah. So what took you to the Midwest? Why Indiana State? Why Cincinnati?
Well, I was determined, and I think this was something my mom and dad saw in me when I was smaller. I was always like this, just independent, wanting to do everything, wanting to be into everything, loving life type of a kid. And so when I grew up, thankfully through music, I had the opportunity to explore different regions of the U.S. and through various competitions, through participating in all-state bands and traveling to do this jazz, competition, I got to travel quite a bit. And it exposed me to so much more than where I was, at the time being in Waycross, Georgia, where, there just wasn't a lot. And so to be able to see all those different things just broadened my perspective. And I was like, okay. So, and then Indiana State came about because I saw my former mentor, Dr. Roby George, conducting some clinic. And I was like, oh my God, like there's an African-American conductor. And like, he's really good and has done quite a bit. And so I was like, okay, well, let me talk to him and see what's going on. And then, of course, hearing about Dr. Price and CCM, I mean, golly, I was like, oh, why not? This is like a revered institution.
Yeah.
Why not go? And some people would say, you're going to go that far away from home, which my family, said a lot of that growing up. Oh, that's just too far. And I'm like, well, I mean,
yeah,
I got to go do this.
Sure.
I got to go do this for me. And I want to explore and I want to be, good at what I do. So I need to learn from those people that are good at what I do, no matter what the cost is. I'm going to go and do it. And it's funny because when I left South Georgia the night before, I was just crying like a baby because I was like 16, 17 hours away.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to start this new adventure and it's going to be great. But at the same time, I was like, God, I'm going to miss home. And like, I'm going to miss these people that I call friend. And, it's going to be a challenge, but a challenge worth having.
Right.
So that's how I ended up in Indiana. And that's how I ended up in Ohio. And, I've always been one of those people that I don't care where I go.
Sure.
Honestly, I just like to explore. I like to experience. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid just to go and exist somewhere on my own. Not afraid to do it. I've never been afraid to. So, yeah.
That's cool. Now, what was it like going from no cold to real cold?
Oh, my God. I thought this was an omen because when I got to Indiana, they had that whole winter vortex thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I had never, ever driven in snow. I had never driven on top of ice.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I should probably go back to Georgia. This is a sign, and I need to see that sign for what it is.
Right.
I need to go back. But I stayed, and I had a friend. His name's Stephen Georges, and he taught me how to maneuver in the snow.
Yeah, it's a thing,
it's
isn't it?
Something else. I was scared for my life, but I learned how to do it, and I was pretty successful at it, to be quite honest.
You're sitting here, so
yeah,
you obviously didn't die.
Yeah, from alive. So that was something else. But it is cold. It was colder than what I thought it would be. And I just bought a lot of clothes, and I love clothes.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
I know we'll talk about that at a later time, but I love clothes. I love layers and all that stuff.
I love winter clothes. I never dressed better than when I spent 2.5 years in Michigan.
Oh my God.
Because it was the same thing. It was cold, and I was like, wait, I can wear layers, and I can wear.
The best.
Yeah, that's why I love going to Midwest. Not for any other reason than I can dress really nice for a week.
That's all. That's
and then
the
I
only
can
reason.
Eat different food. I didn't even go to the exhibit hall this year. I just hung out because I did the exhibit. I used to have a booth and I did all this other stuff. This isn't about me, but at some time I just really this is just I want to talk.
It's your show.
I just need someone to talk to me. I'm Terry Grossing it. I'm going to talk about myself the entire time, and then
as you do.
As one does. So yeah, no, that's why I love Midwest. Just because I like to dress up. Now I kind of like change up the clothes stuff, but whatever. So
well, Austin's hot. I mean, it's just there are a few moments when it's cold, but a lot of the moments it's really hot.
It was like cold one day this weekend, and now we're gonna hit like mid 70s again today. It's just I know you can't put any clothes away because So now you said you don't know much about football, but do you have any allegiances to any professional sports of any kind?
No.
No. So you're not a basketball fan or a soccer fan?
I enjoy basketball. I actually enjoy it better than football.
So that's the sport that you would support professionally?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say support.
Oh my God.
I mean, I appreciate it.
Sure.
I really do. It's fun.
I mean, yeah.
I've been to a few Dallas Mavs games, and so
That's
I mean,
not
it's
real basketball.
I mean,
Go Spurs, go. Well, actually, the Mavs now are good because of that one player. So good for them.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't know. I mean, I just went because of the free tickets and,
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, well, God, it takes away all of my sports-related questions.
I'm so sorry.
There was only a few of them. It's fine.
No.
All right, so now we're back to your bachelor's degree, which you got at Valdosta State University.
You said it right.
Well, I rehearsed. I worked with bands, and I wrote for a band, and I wrote for a band in Florida, who was going to compete at the Bands of America Atlanta Super Regional, and they stopped at Valdosta State, and that's where they rehearsed before they made their way to Atlanta. And so I checked it out because I was with them and we rode the bus and everything. And so we went to the student union. I don't remember anything from the student union. I just remember the stadium. So how close is Valdosta from Waycross?
Oh my God, it's like 45 minutes.
So it's basically like, I mean, you're basically the panhandle of Florida, right up. I mean, it's the border, like you said, the Florida-Georgia border. So was it just because it was local? It was close to your family? Like, why did you choose that institution?
To be quite honest, I didn't choose that institution.
God, this is a running theme here.
So I applied for the University of Georgia. That's
Go Dogs.
Literally where everyone wants to go in Georgia.
It's the UT of Georgia.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
And I was determined to go there and study. And
who was the director of bands at that time? Was it
John Lynch? Yes.
Correct.
Yes. John Lynch was the director of bands. And I had applied and had gotten in and had an audition for the music school and gotten in and saw all that stuff. But as you know, the tuition at the University of Georgia is pretty high. And the scholarships that I were receiving were not covering,
sense.
So I looked at VSU and I was like, okay, Valdosta State, they have a pretty good name, pretty good program. And I auditioned there and they gave me like a lot of money for scholarships. And then, of course, what I had on top, like Pell Grants and all that stuff. Hope was what they call it, the scholarship in Georgia.
Yeah, sure.
So I kept Hope alive. And but anyway, went there with the idea of transferring after 2 years.
Right. Okay.
To UGA. And that experience for me at VSU was like second to none.
Oh,
I mean,
great.
I was involved in all of the ensembles. I mean, I was in the marching band. I served as a drum major for 3 years there.
Oh, wow.
I served as a student ambassador to the president, and I worked really close with the president and first lady. I also was like orientation leader for the university, so I knew the ins and outs. I pledged in fraternity there, and I mean, it was marvelous. It was a marvelous time. So I appreciate.
That's great.
Valdosta State University.
It looks like you made the right choice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would hope so.
And it obviously didn't keep you from coming to your dream school with your dream teacher. I mean, you're here.
It did not stop me. And it's funny because, I mean, coming through my programs and Waycross through, middle school and high school, I didn't know much. I didn't know much. Just I think based off of where we were, there was only so much that was there.
Yeah, sure.
That we had access to. And so it was through, like I said, those different experiences of being in All-State, being in Region Band, being in District and all that stuff that I saw these different people and I was like, oh my God, like I want to know where they are and what they're doing. And, I was, and not to gloat, but just being amongst the elite, especially in the All-State bands,
Sure.
You're going all these great players and it's like, well, what are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you studying with? I didn't have a lessons teacher in high school or middle school. It was something that my band directors taught me and I appreciate. They did all they could with what they had. And I owe everything to them. I really do. Because they taught me hard work. They taught me how to be determined and to go after what it is that I want to do. So, I mean, yeah, it drove me to want more and to seek out more and to be exposed to more, through those various events. And thankfully, I'm able to say that I can be here and I've been there and I've been everywhere else. And so it's really a great honor.
Yeah, you've crisscrossed the country, huh? So yeah, now you're in God's country, as we say.
Hey, Texas, where everything's bigger.
Texas forever. So previous to your doctoral schooling, you taught at the middle school level and the high school level. Which school was first?
So I taught high school first.
So you're at McKinney High School.
McKinney High School.
In McKinney, Texas, which
Texas.
I'm familiar with. Who was the head director there at the time?
Ken Ringle's the head director.
Oh, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
That's right, Ken.
Yep.
That's right. Okay, because they've gone through like a huge, like all the directors have changed in the McKinney School District like the last few years.
Yeah.
So you were in Georgia, then you were in Cincinnati. How did you make your way down to McKinney? Like, where did that come from?
So let me tell you this.
That's why I asked.
So coming out of that last semester, I was like, oh my God, it's time to apply for jobs now.
Yeah, that's what people do.
And, with no teaching experience, I was like, I have no idea where I'm going to end up. But I knew that I wanted to teach in Texas.
Of course.
Because I knew that's where things were happening.
How we do it.
I knew that was the best educational system. I knew that they had the best support and advocacy.
You're right.
I knew all of that. The funding, all of it was there. And I said, I want to teach there. And so all I did was apply for schools in Texas.
Good for you.
And got a lot of thank you for your interest. We've gone with another person.
Yeah.
And
It's hard to get in the state.
Yeah,
anybody.
as a transplant, I was
yeah.
like, are you kidding me? If you didn't grow up bred in the Texas way.
Or even have gone to undergrad here. Like you could be from Georgia, but if you came and went to U of H, for example, you can get a job.
Right. Of
easily.
course. Of course.
Yeah, so you know how hard it is.
Yeah, and it was hard. I luckily got an email in which I remember seeing McKinney High School in that position being open. And I said, I'm applying for this. Because I did all my research. I was like, hey, where are all the good schools?
The bougie areas.
The bougie area. The bourgeoisie areas.
That's right.
Where are all those located? And where are the programs that stand out?
Yeah.
And so that's what I was applying to. And I saw McKinney there among the other schools. And I said, I'm going to apply. So I sent all my information, of course, to the school district. And I sent all of my information to Ken Ringle. And it was about a week later that I got an email saying, hey, would you be open for a phone interview? And then from there, it was like, hey, can you come and meet us in person next Thursday? And I was like, oh my God, I don't have money.
Get in your car and drive down.
I was back home.
Oh, you already
Waycross. I had graduated.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I had just come back home, in that
gotcha
period of
Oh
stillness.
my
So I
God,
was
so
like,
you're way
okay.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, okay, I gotta make this work. And so I looked on Southwest and I saw this ticket that was like $100. Like, oh, bye.
Yeah.
And of course I had a friend over in Dallas too,
There you go.
and I was like, hey, can I room with you just for this? And she took me to my interview and all this stuff. And so got there and it was like a dream come true.
Right. Everything about your life's been a dream come true so far.
It really was because I went into this school. I remember driving past it to the school and I looked at it and I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. It was this feeling. All of a sudden I was like, I'm going to get this job. And so I walked in, I had my suit on, I was looking all stylish.
Of course.
And I met with the principal. I met with Ken. I met with Aaron Renzenbrink at the time, and also met with Chris Cass, who's the percussion instructor there. And like we just had a conversation. Of course, they asked me questions, but it was more of a conversation than it was an interview. And I loved that I was able to connect with them right away, and I guess to match up with their vision or their ideals for the program. So I remember just they took me on a tour of the school, and Ken came back to me and he said, Shiree, we were just doing this for like formality's sake. Like, you have the job and everything. And I was just like, I have a job. I get like money and benefits.
Clothes.
Clothes and shoes and shopping. But yeah, it was one of the best times of my life teaching there at McKinney High School. I was the third director.
Okay.
And so I taught the third band and I taught jazz band as a part of that. And then I also taught beginner saxophone at two middle schools that fed us.
Right.
And I also taught some fourth band and did some other things that they needed me to do administratively.
Yeah.
And so it was a great time.
That's
great
awesome.
time.
How long were you at the high school?
2 years.
2 years. I used to, McKinney North bought shows from me, Alan Harkey.
Alan Harkey.
And then I worked with Joe Nunez when he was there
at
for
McKinney
years.
Boyd.
Yes, they fired me this year. And then Joe didn't hire me at his new school. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, Joe just told me this last night. Yep, he just told me last night.
Well,
so, it was awkward. No, it's okay. No, he commissioned me to write a piece that he's commissioning me to write a piece at McKinney Boyd, which he's no longer there because a former student passed away. So he's coming back to conduct it at the spring concert.
Okay.
So it'll be awkward for everyone because the school that fired me and the guy that didn't hire. So yeah, I'm gonna rib them constantly. Go like, hey, where's your arranger at? Oh, he's not a composer. Oh, sorry about that. That's right.
Like you do.
Can you tell the bitterness in? Anyway, okay. So then you were there at the high school for 2 years, and then you moved to. Pronounce it.
Fabian.
That's what I was
middle
going to say.
You didn't study that?
Well, I was going to say Fabian, but look, I got Valdosta. Let's just get that. Okay, so you then became the head director at the middle school. Yes. How long were you there at that middle school?
I was there for a year.
I
was there for a year.
Okay.
And it was a great year, but it was also very challenging just because I had never taught strictly middle school. And my desire was to never teach strictly middle school, but I got in there and it was one of the best learning experiences for me. Teaching students from the beginning, like how to play their instrument, how to read music, how to coordinate their bodies, how to sit. All of that. Learning the ins and outs, the mechanics of everything, what's happening on the inside, the outside of the mouth, and but like what's happening on your body and your fingers. And it was so much, but it was great. And I remember being up that entire summer at Fabia Middle School, designing a curriculum and, setting up and organizing and having ideas. And me and my assistant, we worked like tirelessly in preparation for that year. And even throughout the year, we worked tirelessly, like many sleepless nights, trying to make it a good experience for our kids. So I would now encourage everybody, to teach middle school. If not for, 1 or 2 years at a time, I think everybody should teach middle school because that's where you learn. That's where you learn and you listen. And it's so much involved in it. And I think middle school is an interesting age too. I do.
To put it mildly.
It's an interesting age, and them having someone there who's an advocate for them, and that can help mold and shape and scaffold them in the right direction. Right. I think is so important. So that was a great experience.
That's awesome. So we're going to backtrack a little bit, but as a Georgia person, then an Ohio person, describe your reaction or anything having to do with Texas competitive marching band.
Oh my God. I remember getting here and when we started summer band, I was like, what is this? What is this? This is like marching band on crack. Like I have never been this competitive, about marching band, from, design, to props. You've seen just.
I have. Ken's never hired me, so, but that's fine, whatever. Continue.
So, the props, the music and it being written, by this composer,
I don't know who did it, but let's not say composer. An arranger.
An arranger,
All right,
whatever. But I mean, it's so much money that's funneled into it. I mean, I'm like, whoa, I only can imagine when I can do it that much money. You know what I mean?
I do.
So, I mean, it's a huge production. And in Georgia, I mean...
Yeah, it was basically Cobb County, right?
I mean, not even where I grew up. Right. I mean, golly, we rehearsed on a grass field.
Were y'all a corps style band or show style band or a military style. Or, you know?
Yeah, the military style band or whatever, marching.
Yeah, sure.
But we just performed like hits, you know,
yeah,
like
sure.
Michael Jackson and Aretha Franklin. And I mean,
that's fun.
You know, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And then you came over here.
And then I came here and I was like, and even Ohio, what is it? The school out there in
William Mason.
Yeah. I mean,
I used
they
to
were
write
fantastic.
For them. They fired me too.
Oh,
I don't want you to think that I get fired from everywhere, but that's how I always
sounds
put
like.
it. You know what? You're right.
Let go or something.
We're moving in a different direction. It's fine. It's fine. In the biz, as we say, this happens all the time. I just I like to let everyone know the jobs that I got fired from.
Yes.
Yeah. In the hopes that they go, oh man, that sucks, and then they just
So McKinney Boyd's one of those.
Yeah, McKinney Boyd fired me. Yeah. I don't count McKinney North because they just buy old library shows, and then they had someone move into the area and like, oh, he's gonna write the shows. I'm like, okay, great, whatever.
Yeah. Now William Mason.
Yeah, William Mason. That one,
among others.
I've been fired by a lot of programs.
How many would you say?
Oh, God, 25, 30. But I've been doing this for a long time, so it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, you have notoriety.
I like to consider myself the bad boy of marching band. Yes, that's right. But this is not about me.
We gotta talk about that.
This is about you.
Okay.
All right. Yes.
All right.
Yes,
let's redirect.
Yes, so,
okay.
So that was marching band. There's a fella, an avid listener, Adam Kita. He's in San Antonio, and he wrote in and said, "Hey, if you ever have people that came to Texas to do band that aren't from Texas and they moved here, I'd like to know what their reactions to the UIL rules, such as the 8-hour rule and the sight reading procedures when it comes to concert band." So, as an outsider, as a transplant, what are your thoughts on those?
I'll start with the 8-hour rule. I mean, I think that's actually a good thing because if we didn't have that 8-hour rule in play, I think band directors would abuse.
Oh yeah.
Their students, to the max, and the students would have no time to do anything outside of marching band, which
right now they barely do.
Is an extracurricular activity. It's not their life. It's not what they want to do long term. And some want to be music educators and band directors, but most, I mean, they want to be physicists and lawyers and doctors and CEOs. So I mean, that rule put into play, I think, helps.
I agree.
Quite a bit. In terms of the sight reading, it's cool. It's interesting, but it's cool. It's cool. I think it's something really good. I honestly think the setup for how Texas does, UIL, of course, your on-stage performance and the UIL, I think it's fantastically woven. I do. The criteria that they're looking for, the mastery that they're looking for, the skills that they're looking for that, players should have, after they've been through this strenuous process of learning this music, taking it apart note by note, rhythm by rhythm, and now having this product in either the end of March or the early parts of April. I mean, and they have the best adjudicators there.
Sure.
Those who, I mean, golly, have been teaching for years and have fame from doing such a great job, within that teaching. I mean, it's wonderful. It really is a wonderful thing. I need to think about this, but I'm just going to say it.
Go for it.
The rubric for a musical product here, I sometimes, or mostly, I don't agree with.
Sure.
Just because, I mean, I don't think music is a part of the process. And with some schools and some directors that go, after music making. Because, of course, I mean, you got to have your checklist. You got to have the right notes and you got to have the right rhythms and you have to make a beautiful sound. But I think the top priority should be, how are we how are we making this music? What story are we trying to tell with the notes and the rhythms that have been written on this page? What's the history? Have we gone and researched, what is this piece about? Is there, how did this piece originate? Is this taken from some type of a story, or is it just come out of nowhere? Is it absolute music? I mean, I don't think that's something that most band directors here think about. It's just like, all right, let's open the page. Let's turn on the harmony director at quarter note equals 56. And now let's play everything on a concert F, and let's, and I get it. That's the equation that we all work with. But, I just think that it should go deeper than that.
Agreed.
And that we should reevaluate what our job is, and that's music educators.
Right.
How are we teaching our students the properties of music? What does that mean? And how do we exist in that? You know what I mean? So
I do. I've come up through Texas. So I've done all those things that you're referring to at the middle school, high school, collegiate level. And it really wasn't until I left the state to do my master's or to work with other programs, it's going to sound super egotistical, when we realized that there were other good playing bands and there are other methods outside of this state, right?
Yes.
And I worked for a band director who moved down from South Carolina, and he worked at James Bowie. His name was Bruce Dinkins. He passed away, but he had some different methods and different ways of doing things, but he created greatness there. And it wasn't just the, and I'm not just going to blame this, but it wasn't the green method. It wasn't, the map on the wall that every note, like it wasn't that. He did allow for a lot of the things you're talking about. And sometimes you encounter that pushback, right? Because it's like, oh, what, you mean you don't use the metronome? Because back then they didn't have the harmony directors. Like that was just coming out. And so, you the McAdams, or you have all these other things, and, the daily drill. And, if you have a 90-minute class, 50 minutes is breathing and F around the room. And as a composer, now I'm going to get my composer hat on, I always tell people, if I want to hear my piece played perfectly, I'll just listen to the MIDI recording.
Right.
And there are institutions that pride themselves on being so perfect that everything is exactly the way it was written on the music. And this is not a knock, but it will sound like it, and I apologize if it does. I love the UT Wind Ensemble, and I always have, because sometimes it's a little fuzzy, and sometimes you don't know if it's going to go off the rails because it's so much, it's got a lot of emotion. It's filled with what you talk about, like musicality. It's filled with, and it's organic. A ride. It is. And sometimes you're like, oh God, hold on, here we go. And it never feels like you're going to lose control. And I don't mean that when I say it's going to go off the rails. Right. But sometimes you're just like, oh man, you sacrifice sometimes perfection to create a musical moment or an emotional moment. And UT's not the only one that does that. But I think that if you're going to tell me there's all these universities that are going to play, who do you want to hear? I mean, UT is definitely on the top of the list, because I think Jerry wheel, look, he's got a 7 or 8 speed sports car, and he's going to use every single gear. And some universities, maybe in the Houston area, are fine being in 3rd gear. And it's like, oh, okay, great. You drove perfectly, wonderful. But there's a reason why this car can go 280 miles per hour. Let's push that nitrix offside button. Right. So I'm right there with you.
Right. And it's funny that you said, because Professor Junkin, he'll say that direct quote is, it's okay, if it's whatever, I'd rather this instead of that.
Correct. And the good thing about it is, I've said this for years to all my friends who are of that ilk are going to be like, oh, they're rolling their eyes like, oh, Daniel, it's just the way he thinks, and that's fine. And everyone has their wants. And I have a lot of friends that teach very good band programs and do kind of a combination of all that stuff. But at the end of the day, band directors at the middle school and high school level like to say, we don't teach to a test, but they absolutely do. Right. UIL, solo, and inside, and when you go through honor band or all that process, and the solo, where we just going through the all region area. We just had state weekend where the kids made state, and I remember judging and I remember performing. And if a kid did something that was a little out of the ordinary, like create some music, sometimes that was a gamble, a huge gamble. You have to go like, oh nope. And if you played it perfectly and it was exact, it was like,
you didn't play it on the page, right?
Very good. And so I've always said, well, we're creating musical robots is what we're doing. Right. And people always go, well, we should make them sight read. It's like, oh, yeah, but we should also make them like, hey, play this, like do something with this. And if they don't know what they're doing, well, they'll probably go like, well, my band director or my lessons teacher usually tells me how to interpret this. And I've gotten in these discussions with Dr. Beatty when I did my master's, and we've talked about this, and it's the delicate balance of, like you said, giving them skills and teaching them and giving the tools, but then also allowing them to make music.
Right.
And that's what we're doing.
It's so funny because when I was back at McKinney High School, and I would work with a series of students who would want to set up times to meet with me and play through their solos or to play through their etudes for, the state auditions. And there were a lot of times where I was like, okay, so what are you trying to say through this piece of music? What is your imprint?
Right.
Had no idea.
Sure.
They're like, what do you mean? I was like, so right here in measure 5, I know it says this, these notes and rhythms are there, but what is it really saying? Should it go somewhere? Should it recede back to here? I mean, what is the line asking you to do?
Right.
So what's your musical story, and how can you tell it through the notes and rhythms that are illustrated on this page? Because every piece of music has a journey. It has a journey and it has a destination, but how are we going to get to that destination?
Right.
What things are you going to ask yourself along this journey that this music needs, that it warrants, that it desires?
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
Sure.
What are you trying to say?
No, yeah.
So, I mean, it was so funny to see the light come on and work with these students. And when they would come back, I would hear the nuances and the different dynamics and, the different note lengths and the approaches to style. And I'm like, now we're getting somewhere. So now let's go deeper.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how these students are very intuitive.
Sure.
And they're very musical. They just have to be allowed.
That's the thing. You have to let them. And I know that some people will go like, oh, I can't just tell my kids to play the Sunset, Mr. Holland's Opus or whatever. And I get it. Not everyone is able to do that, right? Some kids they need to play and they do that. And, you got to find the right kind of musician that can do that. But I think it's going to be way more beneficial and way more fulfilling, right? I mean, because you want to make music. You want to have fun.
I mean, it's so much better than just playing notes and rhythms. I just
right.
I agree. I mean, golly.
Well, and I know that there's a lot of band directors, and some I will get messages or whatever, and I get it. But again, they know who I am and they know the way I talk about things, and so that's okay. So you're in good company here. The problem with a lot of this stuff is, if a band goes and plays first suite for UIL, and nowadays in Texas, first suite's a second band piece, right? Because that's just the way it is.
Oh my God.
You're walking the plank on that piece because everyone has their idea of how that piece should go. Basically, the first 12 bars, right?
Staple.
Yeah. And so you have a problem if you want to make music with that piece and do it differently because nope, that's not the way that we've done it in Texas for 45 years. And so you get in a problem. So I can understand why band directors would be very hesitant to go, you know what, let's try something different with Symphony in B flat with Granger. It's easier to go like, oh, here's the new piece that no one's heard of yet, or that's barely taking the world by storm. Let's go crazy with it, because the band director can go like, oh, the judges who are traditionally, let's just put it out there, old white guys that are judging UIL, those are the ones that are going to like, oh, I've never heard of this Omar Thomas. That's a great, that's great, fantastic, Division I. But if you did anything differently with like a Warhorse and Symphonic Metamorphosis, that's not the way Hindemith interpreted it. That's a 2. And you're like, did you know him? No, I did not. But I'm going off of the 1975 recording by...
This is 45 years of...
Yes. So it's a huge deal. We could just go on and on about this. But let's lighten it up a little bit.
Okay.
Thoughts on sparkling water, specifically Topo Chico?
I love Topo Chico, specifically the lime.
Oh,
Topo
that's a
Chico
good one.
Lime.
That's my second favorite.
Some folks like the grapefruit,
no.
I'm like, gross.
Yeah, no.
Gross. And then the original, I guess.
Of course.
Yes. I see you had...
I do. I have the original.
Yeah.
I drink either iced tea, which is half and half, half sweet, half unsweet, or Topo Chico, and water. But
yeah, water. And after the Topo, I drink the Essentia water.
Oh.
It's so good. It's like the best drinking water in America. Okay. And y'all can quote me on that.
We will. We'll put that on the tagline.
Right. So yeah, that's what I drink. That's
awesome.
Sparkling water.
All right, so we're done being light. Being light talking. Let's get really into this now. let's talk about the Midwest Clinic and their new recommendations. Okay, and there's a reason for this because we are both minorities. I think is the word that they use to describe it. Though we're in Texas, and there's more
people of color.
I'm a Mexican American. We'll just go with that one. So the committee recommends that the Midwest programs, the bands that do that the bands and orchestra requirements now for performing ensembles, they have to program at least one piece by composers from what they call historically underrepresented groups, which include women, composers of color, LGBTQIA2+ composers. I copied it straight from it. I stopped at LGBT because that's what it was when I was growing up. But they keep adding things. This is just a thing, so I'm glad it's written down here because QIA2+. Somebody will have to tell me what that is.
Same.
And disabled composers. So I want to talk about this.
Okay.
As we've established, African American,
yes,
Mexican American,
yes.
So as one who is a gatekeeper for music, because that's what you're going to be when you become a collegiate conductor. You're a gatekeeper. Professor Junkin's a gatekeeper, Dr. Beatty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's talk about this requirement or this recommendation to be a requirement. What do you think about this? Because I have a take on this.
Well, my thing is what made it to the point where you're having to require this?
Correct.
Why isn't it just something that just is? Correct. Or that exists? Why do we have to now put regulations down on a piece of paper that requires you to perform a piece by ethnicities, of brown and black and Hispanic and Asian descents and, LGBTQ, why are we having to note this down on a contract for people to do instead of them this is a great piece of music by a great person. Let's program it. Let's expose our kids to this.
Yes.
Let's, why not?
Yeah.
It's there. Why not use it? But to have to require this or to implement this into law says a lot.
It's like, I know you don't follow sports, but there's this thing called the Rooney Rule in the NFL that they say you're required to interview at least one minority candidate for the head coaching job or something like that. And it's been around for a little bit. And that's a whole nother discussion about, the amount of African American or Hispanic coaches in the NFL, blah, blah, blah. So this is almost in that way where you're going, you were supposed to do this. My thinking from this is this. If the Midwest program, any band that goes up there is a house, right? You've got a house, you got to fill your house.
Right.
Ideally, you want to fill it with as much diversity in terms of difficulty, style, composers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This rule basically says now you are required to have one room in your house that is specifically for historically underrepresented minorities, or I'm just gonna say minorities for the purposes of this podcast. Yeah. So now it almost feels like, okay, well, we have the smallest bedroom here. All of you minorities fit in that room, and we're gonna fill the rest of the house with what we normally do, right? Because then you can go, I feel good about my program because I picked a grade 1 by an Asian American composer, a real Asian, not someone masquerading as an Asian. Instead of the goal, and I understand maybe the goal is we want exposure, right? How do we know about Omar Thomas? How do we know about Ryan Day? How do we know about J. Coles? How do we know about me? Unless somebody is quote unquote forced to program that. But the reality of this is what I think. They're going to pick Julie Giroux. They're going to pick Carol Chambers. They're going to pick, they're going to pick this and go I've got my woman. I've got my African American. I've got my Hispanic. And 9 times out of 10, I don't know this for a fact, it's going to be the grade 1 or the 2 or the grade 3 because that's what they do. And so I feel like this actually handcuffs us as minorities as opposed to widening exposure to us, because then it's going to go hey, you're the former director of bands. You were successful in getting our program. You're going to conduct the grade 1 and it's going to be by insert minority here. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I'm wholeheartedly with you on that sentiment. I mean, they're not doing it out of pure intent.
It's not altruistic.
Yeah.
It's fake wokeness.
Right. It's a requirement for them, set by these folks, who think it should be this way.
Right.
For us to fulfill a status quo,
yes.
if you will.
And don't get me wrong. I think it is coming from a good place.
Yes.
Dr. Sedetol and company, they want to increase this.
Absolutely.
And I know, that there are some high school programs that submitted their program Midwest that had no composers of color or minorities, and they came back and go, you may need to reconsider this.
Or no idea about those composers.
Right. And that's another question. So I want to ask you about this or talk about this. There are some places we're talking about music where historically underrepresented groups do not currently exist in volume at a high level. That's where we're at right now. I think as composers, as conductors, as you mentioned, not because obviously we can't do this. It's just that society that we've come up with, it wasn't allowed, or it was discouraged, or it was in a lot of ways like the old boys club, right? Regardless of whatever it is. And this pertains to women. This pertains to LGBT. This pertains to minorities, right? So there hasn't been a lot of time for diverse people to grow into the leadership levels in the positions in the field. So like you have, what was the name of the conductor that you studied with, African-American conductor?
Dr. Ruby George.
Right. We have Dr. Nick Williams, who is now in Australia.
Yes,
right?
yes, at Melbourne.
Dr. Fagan.
Yeah, DeAndre Fagan.
And Dr. Crooms now.
Dr. Rodney Dorsey.
Dr. Rodney Dorsey,
Yeah.
It sucks that we're at a point where we can name them because you can go like, well, name all this isn't a bashing a white conductor thing or anything like that, but I mean, if you put 10 conductors in a room, 8 of them are white males.
Yes.
And then you have Dr. McCoyne, Dr. Turner, Thrynan,
Dr. Beatty.
Like it's the same thing. Like you can name you shouldn't have to be able to name them because there should be like, there's just too many to name.
Right.
So, but we right now in music, in band, because this is what we're talking about. We haven't allowed diversity to improve to the numbers, or that people can get to the point where they can start helping that. And obviously that's something as African American, Mexican American, Asian American, as Travis Cross over in California, then we can start helping that kind of thing. And it is on us to do it, but we do need that little help. So I understand why Dr. Sedetol and Midwest, all these other people are saying we need to do something, but I don't know that this is as great of an idea as maybe some would hope or think so.
Yeah. Or as impactful,
That's the word. We have to fix the culture before we can actually make a lot of advancement in the field. And are you familiar with the composer J. Coles?
I know his name, and we're Facebook friends, I think.
Yeah. He's a young guy, a young African American. He's in Indiana right now. Carl Fisher publishes his music. He's like a young phenom conductor, composer. A lot of younger band music, but some middle range.
Yeah.
And he posted something a few years ago, and I apologize if Jay's listening to this, and I think it made him basically leave Facebook, where he was like, everyone should be required to perform a piece by, underrepresented. And the amount of vitriol that was on his Facebook wall, I should never be told to play a piece of music by insert race here. I only play good music. And he's like, well, yeah, but I just think people need to be exposed to this. And he's like, and the people, if it's good, I'll know about it. And yes, if the cream will rise to the top, but the cream's a lot of times is white.
Yes.
And again, please don't send me angry emails saying I'm bashing white people. My wife is white. My daughter is half white. It's like going, I'm not racist. I know I've got a black friend, right? Like I get all of that. I realize how I sound. But my brother is a band director in the Houston area, and he submitted a piece of music to UIL to be, you have to prove it if it's not on the list. And it was by a Mexican or Latin American composer, Ricardo Lorenz up at Michigan State, and it was denied. And he was upset because there was another composer, and I will not name, who's a white composer and wrote a piece based on like Mexican themes or Latin American. And that was approved and added to the list. So a white man can write a music sounding like Latin music, and that gets on the list. But you get an authentic Latin American, and I misspeak, Hispanic. I don't know what Dr. Lorenz is or Professor Lorenz, but he couldn't get the piece on there. Wow. And so we have a cultural problem, and it's going to be hard. And these little moves are good, but it's like you said, I don't think it's going to have the impact.
It's not enough.
It's not. And so I want to put that on now. We're going to change the word composers to conductors. So is there anything that we, and whether this is white, black, Mexican, brown, whatever, that we can do to encourage and promote and lift up those individuals wanting to be collegiate conductors that are minorities?
Well, we first have to be accessible. I think they have to be able to connect with us, and we have to be able to want to reach out and discover, those persons that do want to go, and do this and do that and create this and create that. It's just being visible. Yeah. Being visible and not being so high and mighty and just up your own, that you can't connect with a person, and unfortunately our profession is full of that. Yeah. Just snobbery and, oh my God, I'm like, it's just band, it's just music, whatever.
Yeah.
Talk to people, get to know who they are, understand them, be authentic in understanding them and see what it is, ask them questions, what they want to do, and, what means have they taken to want to get there, and how can you help, and just be available for them. I think that's, step one. And, step two, of course, you want to, be an advocate for their product. So if they're a composer, and you're going and you're listening to their music, you're like, okay, I think this got something. Okay. And hey, let's hook you up with Daniel Montoya. Let's
I like that idea.
Hey, let's see what he has to say, and let's see how we can further develop this. And okay, now that we've further developed this, let's take this on. Let's put this with a band. Let's see how it sounds, and let's see what type of a response that we get. Let's see what the feedback is, and let's continue to go on from there. And so, I mean, I just think it's giving someone that chance. Yeah. Whether it be white, black, Hispanic, Asian, LGBTQ, just give them the opportunity. Right. For growth, for progression. So just being there as an advocate. I think that's all I can think of.
Well, I'm quoting some of my I have a friend, Daniel Sanchez. He's Hispanic, and we were talking about the lack of minority representation in drum corps. Whether a designer, in the big roles, like the arranger, the drill writer. There's very, very few women, very few minorities. And he said a few things that really kind of struck with me, and I thought it was, he said, if you could hire diverse when it's feasible and equitable to do so, this isn't good enough by itself, and it won't fill out to be representative percentages today, because it's just, you can't just go like, oh, automatically, what's the percentage of African Americans or Mexican American or Asian American? It's just not going to happen. But one thing that he said that I really liked was we have to create and identify more entry or mid-level positions that can be filled in a diverse way. And these positions need to allow for growth instead of being the highest that they'll ever reach. Because I think we're going like, I have this one spot as a director of bands, and maybe we haven't given enough opportunity for people to grow. And if you go, well, he or she's not ready for it, then you say I can't put that person. But if you go, well, what if we had that person down there, and we work towards that, we work that, because right now we just have these jobs or these opportunities, and they're all high level and they're great, and we all want them. But at the same time, we have to grow, and we need the opportunities to grow, and not everybody gets those same opportunities.
Right. And I mean, I tell you what, Daniel, I had no idea that being a conductor, let alone a black conductor at a high level, was a thing.
It's crazy.
I had no idea.
Right.
All throughout middle school and high school, I knew I wanted to be a band director. But I also knew that I wanted to do it on a high level. And I didn't know about conducting until like my junior year of undergrad. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, people can, what? You could major in that? And as I progressed, in my conducting journey or my music education journey, I started to see how many less of us were.
The higher you go up.
on that level, and I was like, wow, I wonder why that is. And all these tools are out there, for access, but I'm wondering if even people of my color or other ethnicities, minorities, feel that they can access those resources.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And feel comfortable in doing so and don't feel like they're looked down at or, condescended or, like it's superfluous, or above them. And I'm like, no, like this, it's all out there for us.
Right.
This is a free resource. Like we can do whatever we want to do, with who we want to do it with, but it's just being in a place to where it's made available, to us. And yeah, of course, I understand responsibility and, looking up things and researching and going after all that stuff. But making it available is also another part of that equation, for us too. So, I mean, with me, I've just been trying, hey, I'm at, people say, you're at the University of Texas and you went to CCM and, all this stuff and you've done all the things I want to do. I said, well, you can do it too.
Right.
And here's how.
Sure. Yeah, and we understand that not everyone. I mean, we all have different opportunities presented to us. And this goes for all races and all genders, where it's like there are poor white people, right? There are poor white straight men out there, and there are poor gay Mexican men, and it's so that Poor sees no color, really,
Right.
So we understand that some schools, some people, some communities don't have those same types of opportunities or limited opportunities. So we have to figure out how to empower them or give them, I hate to use the word equality because that really doesn't work, but how do we help someone who doesn't have the same opportunities at their fingertips and again, it's not a race thing. It's, I am of Mexican American descent. Everyone but my brother and I were born in El Paso, which is a border town, Juarez, and they all speak Spanish and all that stuff. I realize that I come from a certain place of privilege. I'm not your normal Mexican. My friends like to use the term, coconut, right? Brown on the outside, white on the inside. I get all that, and I'm not fluent. I haven't experienced the sort of racism that maybe my mom and my dad had coming from El Paso. I think the only thing I can remember is I grew up bilingual and I went to school and all the kids made fun of me because I was speaking Spanish. I don't remember this. And I came home crying. My mom asked why, and I said because they're making fun of me because I was Spanish. From that point on, she didn't force me to have to learn Spanish anymore, which I hate because I'm not fluent, right? My brother's the same way, and we're doing our best. But I understand that I'm a quote unquote Americanized Mexican American, so like I get all that. I'm not the poster child for speaking about Mexican rights. So I want to fully acknowledge all of that right off the bat. I like things, but at some point, why do we go like, well, what does it matter if you're a quote unquote white Mexican or blah, blah, blah. I don't, but that's another story. But I just want to make sure that when people hear this, they don't go, well, Daniel, what are you talking about? You don't know Spanish. It's like, well, I know enough. I know enough about my culture and my heritage, but I want to make sure that I fully acknowledge my privilege of that. But that's the hard part is that the reality is it's hard as privileged people. Whether, and there are privileged minorities, like, but it's hard for us to identify all the problems in the interactions and the activities. And it's important to have some historically underrepresented groups, minorities. They need to have their input and oversight onto that, because you mentioned seeing people that were like you, right? My middle school band director, Eddie Zamora, he's like Texas band royalty. I think he went to UT. So I had a Hispanic band director, right? And then my percussion teacher was Hispanic. And so I always saw Hispanics in positions of quote unquote power, right, in music. And then my percussion teacher at Texas State, Gennaro Gonzalez, Hispanic, So I was able to see those things. And when you're talking about the ability to see those things and think it's a possibility. So when you have a band director crew of 4 or 5 or 6 with percussion and guard, maybe they're all white men. Maybe they're all white women. Maybe they're all black men. Like, it doesn't go only one way, right? So we want to give the children, quote unquote, hey, I could be like him. I could be like her. There's a gay woman that's teaching band. I'm a young girl who's gay. I can do that.
Right. And it's so empowering. It's so empowering. It really is to see that example in front of you. Because like I said, I had no idea. I just thought that, band directors were all white. I did. I really did. And I mean, of course, there were some instances where, I grew up in Georgia, so I saw Alfred Watkins and I saw what he did. And he's a great mentor of mine too. But I was like, wow, like even him. And there's people that are working at the collegiate level, that are doing the same thing that he's doing. And oh my God, I mean, we have access to that. I can do that.
Right.
I had no idea.
Sure.
So how do I do this now?
Right.
And that's when I would go and I'd ask questions and I would do research. And I'm like, okay, so where are the top programs for this? And how can I be a part of that?
Right.
Who do I need to speak with about this right here? Okay, I'm going to get in contact with them. I don't care how high up they are. I'm going to send them an email.
Yeah.
And we're going to speak about it, because I deserve that too, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
I deserve that too. We all deserve that. And it goes back to having those examples in front of you and being able to have access to those examples. I mean, just like you saw all of your directors, you're of Hispanic descent, and oh my God, you were like, oh, I can do that.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my God. So, I mean, for me, that was life-changing.
Right.
It was life-changing. I cannot explain to you how life-changing it was. And it has been a motivator for me, each and every day. It's like, okay, so how can I now be an example for the next generation,
right.
of minorities, LGBTQ, all of that stuff. How can I be a good example for them? And then to add on that, how can I be a good resource for them?
Yes. And I think that's part of the hard part is being a resource, because you think maybe it's like, well, I'm can't you just see I'm here? I did it. You can do it too. It's like, yeah, but I need help. Well, and it's hard. It is hard to give of our time. I understand that some of us have families, jobs, school, all of those things. And we have to be more visible in our help for our people. Right. And it's not going to happen tomorrow. Right. I mean, it's not going to happen in our lifetime, but maybe my child, maybe our children will be able to see more representation of women, minorities, LGBT, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to take time. But the moves that we make today, it's going to sound like, the moves we make today will influence.
It's planting a seed.
It is.
It
really is. And you can speak more to this because he came and worked with UT. The thing that I really like about Omar Thomas, I mean, I like his music. So let's get that out of the way first. I do like his music. I think it's a lot of fun. I like the message that and I don't think, in no way, shape, or form is it an act. I don't think he just says, this is what I'm going to do. It's like a facade. Like, I see the pictures of him. I read what he writes on Facebook. Like, his message about promoting the African-American culture in everything that he does, the way he dresses, the way he speaks, the music he writes. Yep. Like, this is his plan. Yep. This is his message. This is his life.
Yep.
And he is going into, let's be really honest, a lot of white schools. And he doesn't go like, oh, I better change my shirt.
Nope.
I don't know the name of the type of shirts he wears. I'm not even going to pretend to go like, isn't it called this? Like, I just know, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that looks like what I think is African-American culture.
Yeah.
And he'll go into the whitest, richest school that probably voted a certain way. And he's going to be himself and he is going to promote Black excellence, Black music, Black culture. And I am all about that because it's great. And I can only imagine him walking into a room and seeing kids of all races, maybe some African-American kids that are afraid to be African-American. And they see that and go like, holy crap.
Wow.
And we're playing this piece. And I can see Hispanics, whites, Asians going like, oh, geez, what is he wearing? And then hear Omar talk about it. And then you play a piece that is brilliant.
Yes.
And then it's just like, and these kids, whether they know it or not, their lives are changed.
Yep.
Because they are exposed maybe for 30 minutes, only 30 minutes, but that may be the only 30 minutes of their lives that they are exposed to African-American culture, African-American excellence. And it's not in February, and it's not just a little movie, go, let's learn about Black history in America. And you watch that and everyone's on their phones and, they stop caring. Like, Omar is a living, breathing, organic representation of that.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
Absolutely. It's so funny because, Daniel, I kid you not, I woke up this morning and his new piece, Shenandoah, was on my heart. It was on my mind. It was resonating really strongly this morning with me. And I just remember the feeling I had as it was resonating, and I was like, oh my God, this music is just so it's so feelingful. Like it's so pure and it's so authentic. I get emotional talking about it now.
Yeah.
Just because I remember the feeling my body felt as I was processing, how this music was going, what the story was behind it, how he was expressing himself through the notes and the rhythms and through the harmonies that he employed. And I mean, just the rhythmic, all of it, how it just wove this beautiful story. And I sent him a text because we're great friends. I love Omar. Omar is like one of my greatest friends, everybody.
Humble brag.
Yeah, I love him. I really do. I hope he's listening. But anyway, I texted him. I said, Omar, I said, your piece, Shenandoah, was on my heart this morning, really heavy. And I said, I just want to thank you for that. Thank you for what you are contributing.
Yeah.
It means the world to me. And I'm sure to others, but to me, it means so much. And he sends back like this Oprah gift, like crying.
Of course, right?
And he's like, yeah, thank you. And he said, oh my God, that means so much. And all this stuff. And then we started talking about other things and joking and stuff. But I cannot express to you how what he's doing is so powerful. And I love how he's so unapologetic.
And that's the thing. Like, he is taking risks, whether I'm sure he knows, and whether we as privileged people know, or every time he steps into a room that is not, dominant Mexican American, African American minority, he's judged. And people, whether they know it or not, and whether it's malicious or not, how unprofessional. He's not wearing a suit. Oh, I can't believe he's showing his hair like that. Like, things that have been said about African Americans in all facets of life, right? Like, how dare these football players wear their dreadlocks and blah, blah, blah. Or, and there's way more extreme versions that we won't talk about here. But, he walks into a room being himself. Every day is a risk that someone may go like, I'm not playing your music because you dress that way. How dare you shove this into my face, or blah, blah, blah. And you just said it. He's unapologetic, and he's taking every risk. And he comes from somewhat of a privileged place. He teaches at at Peabody, right?
At Peabody.
Yeah. So he is at one of the most well-known institutions. And every day that he goes works with a program on something like this, he puts a lot of that at risk.
He's at the peak of his profession. I mean, we're talking about, and the wonderful thing I love about him is that he wants to see all of us, especially African Americans and other minorities, like, get there with him. And he is holding on to them by like, let's go, let's do this, let's take over this world, and let's make it rich with color, and rich with creativity, and rich with equality. Let's do all of that, and be good at it.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Be good at it.
Yes.
And I appreciate that about him. And wow, it's just refreshing.
It is. I have a friend. He's not in the music world. He was in high school band leader. His name is Jamil Brown. He did his undergrad at Princeton, and now he's doing his law degree at Virginia, I think. And he, very similar to Omar, he saw that he was able to get these opportunities due to his family and whatnot, and he wanted to help out. And so he, on his own volition, just started saying, like, I know that there are barriers for young African American people and LGBT who want to be lawyers, and like taking the test, like, this is expensive, or getting the tutorial tools. And so he took it upon himself to be like, look, send me, I'm going to say it incorrectly, but basically send me applications. Emphasis will be put on those of color, LGBT. And, I'll pick one or two, and I'll pay for your, I think it was like the LSAT tutorial or something that had to do with becoming a lawyer. And that company caught onto it, and they go, we love what you're doing. We'll piggyback on that. Wow. So it's the same thing where, we are, and I'm trying my best, and I don't know how to do it yet, to how do we help out our people, quote unquote, and because look, we want the help, and we'll take it from white people, from privileged people. But at the end of the day, we have to help ourselves too. And we have to figure out how to do it. And you're talking about Omar, we're talking about Jamil, we're talking about other instances where, we have to do it. I mean, a very famous example is Tyler Perry. Yeah. I read about him opening that film studio, like
in Atlanta. Yeah.
And all on his own money. Like, and he's just like, here we go. I mean, what was Bad Boys 2 is being filmed there. Coming to America 2 is being filmed there. And it's only, Atlanta's a hotbed for film
for sure
right now. And, and to see, we have to do things for ourselves and by ourselves, our people, help our, but there's Tyler Perry who has $1 gazillion, and then there's Jameel Brown who's probably a poor, starving college student right now. But we can do something. Whatever it is, it's different from person to person.
Yeah,
we just gotta
find what it is.
Find
what it is for sure. And it's funny because lately I've been discovering a lot of people have been in contact with me, especially those of the African American heritage, that have been contacting me about, mentorship and about how did you get where you are, and, you're studying here and what brought you there. And I'd love to, have some more input. I'd love to have you as a resource, as a guy. And I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah. Let's talk. Here's my number. Let's have a conversation. They're like, can I send you video? Can I send you this? And can you tell me about this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Whatever.
Right.
If you want me to come out, I don't mind at all. You don't have to pay me.
Sure.
I'll be out there. I just want to help.
Right.
I just want to be of any assistance that I can be, because we got to get there.
Yeah.
And it takes somebody helping, and understanding and being compassionate.
Yes.
About this thing, because, hey, I'm still there too. I'm still learning, and I'm still growing, and I'm still gravitating towards those people that, have been influential to me and who are mentoring me and, who want me to experience the greatness that is this profession. And so they're doing everything they can to help, so I want to be that same person, to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. And I'll be 1,000,000% honest. I will take the obligatory minority spot on Midwest programs. I ain't too proud to, I'm not going to turn it down and go, how dare you? Like Julie Giroux can write on Facebook, I will not be part of all women concerts, because she's Julie and she can do that. If someone wants to call me up and go like, hey, we figured you'd fill a slot, I will say yes. I'm not gonna put up a fake face on this one. I'll take it.
Right.
But at the same time, I'll be like, hey, and I do region, like I'm doing a region band this weekend.
Okay.
I do one a year, luckily, because I got a master's in it, so I thought pay it off. And I try my best to yes, always play one of my pieces, so that fits the minority. But like I try to find new young composers. I try to find composers of minorities, women, different races, and so. But I also understand how difficult that is to find quality literature of that. Or if I'm doing the 9th grade band, so I obviously can't play Come Sunday by Omar Thomas. I can't do that one. So
you could do Shenandoah.
And I didn't know about that piece when I submitted the music. So the other issue is, and this is the point I'm getting at, is hey, all of us underrepresented, let's write for also younger band too. Yeah. But I know how hard it is. I hate writing for young band because I don't know how to do it well. So there's a reason why the same 6 people kind of have that market cornered. I get it. It's tough. But, we talk about creating more entry mid-level positions. Yeah, I get it. The grade 1, 2, and 3 is probably that. But whatever we can do as minorities to do that, whatever minority conductors or white conductors, white composers, Julie is doing a band and she's like, oh, I'm playing a Ryan Day piece and I'm doing this. And, she's trying. A lot of us are trying, what Rob Deemer and Christian Michael Folk are doing with the composer, diversity databases, all that's great. All that's great. We just, every little bit helps. So yes, we'll take it, Dr. Seditol. We'll take it, Rob Deemer and Christian. We'll take it, Julie. But then also we need, like you mentioned, we have to do it. So we can't just, it can't just be the white knight. You know, we have to help ourselves in however way we can, whether it's I'll help you with your LSAT preparation, or I'm getting a booth at Midwest and it's going to be filled by nothing but minorities or something like that.
Yeah, and even speaking of conducting programs, I have a lot of people that are asking me, recently about, well, how did you get there? What did you do? What were the steps you took? I was like, okay, let's talk about it.
Yes.
This is what I did to get to CCM. This is what I did to get to UT. Here are the steps you need to take.
Right.
In order to even have a glimmer of potential, in entering this program.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got to play the game.
You got to play the game.
But if you can't play it if you don't know that there's a game.
Right. And that's where the education part comes in, because it's like, okay, this is what you need to do.
Yeah, because people ask me a lot, how do I get into that? And they just think, well, if I just write music and I submit, and you go, hey, who do you know? I don't know anybody.
Boom.
And that is, it's not a secret, but it is a secret. It's like, you have to know people, and you have to know the right people. And that means going and introducing yourself to people. That means, doing this. Now, did you do the UT conducting symposium before you came to UT?
I did it twice.
You did it twice. Huh?
I did it twice, and I met Professor Junkin at CCM when he was the guest clinician for that workshop up there. And so I got to take him around and be his errand boy. And I got to know some more things about him and his expectations and what he looks for. And through the workshop, I learned even more, about him and what he's looking for. And
that's the thing.
So I was like, oh yeah, I know what to do.
Right.
I know what I got to do in order to get where I want to be. So it is, like you said, it's a game that we have to play, and we have to understand that there is a game present.
Yes.
And
yeah. Now I'm gonna go Terry Gross. I did the conducting symposium. That's right. I have a master's in conducting. I don't know if you know this.
I did not know that.
Dr. Beatty was my teacher.
What the heck?
Yes, and so I applied for UT. I'm going well, who knows if I'm going to get into this, because it was the year or two before they started doing this whole, now it's an even more complicated process to get into it, right? And I got in. Now I've known Jerry Junkin since I'm from Austin. He would do the middle school, all city band. So he's known me probably since I was 14 years old.
Wow.
So now it's almost, it's very much oh, Daniel, it's one of those relationships kind of thing.
He says it just like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I did the symposium, and it was my turn to conduct, and, I'm standing there, and you know the room.
Right.
So there are observers, there's middle school, there's college, and there's all these people that are doctoral candidates and want to be, and I'm just there I just want to learn how to conduct better. When everyone asks me, why do you want to do this? And I go, because I don't want to look like certain composers who conduct music and they look awful.
Yes.
I can name 2 of them right now, but I won't. But people who know me know exactly who I'm talking about.
You'll tell me after this.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I went up there and did it. I did the first thing, and I thought it went well.
What did you conduct?
God.
Remember?
Dvorak.
Oh, okay.
And the Grand Partita was probably up there.
Yeah,
and there was another one. I forget. It was, you got 3 of them or something like that. And, Jerry comes up and they do your debrief and goes, I got to tell you, Daniel, this is in front of everybody. He's, I know Daniel, and I saw your application and really didn't know what to expect. So I thought it'd be fun to just see what you do. It's okay. So I was up here for laughs. So it was either going to be spectacularly amazing or spectacularly awful. And you can go, this is why we never let those people in. But, come to find out, he was talking to another person that threw a message, he was surprised. He was pleasant, not surprised. Not surprised enough to go you should come study with me at UT, but enough to be you know what? Wow. He knew what he was doing. Okay. Which is great. So that's my entry into that. Wow. See, so we're kind of the same.
See, I had no idea you got your master's in.
Did you know I write music?
Well, I mean, barely. Yeah. But you get fired so much.
I think people would say barely also.
You get fired so much.
I know. Well, that's marching band. Yeah. I did go to UT for 1 year for my master's in composition, and I burned out. I had done 6 years of my undergrad because I had a lot of fun. Wow. And so I left after a year, but I had to play in the wind ensemble with the orchestra with Dr. No at the time. We did Mahler too, which is amazing. And then Junkin, we played in the wind ensemble. We played in the wind ensemble, and I was there with Tom Burrett in the percussion. The new music ensemble. Welcher was on sabbatical, and so it was with somebody else. But I had a great time. I loved it.
Yes. I had no idea.
Well, I don't know. Why doesn't Ogechi tell you these things?
I know.
Ogechi's the problem. She's the worst.
She's the worst.
The worst. All right. So we've talked about some heavy things. So let's end on some good things. Okay. For the folks listening to us at home, in their cars, in their bathtubs, in the subway, walking their dogs, at the gym, typing up invoices, waiting for results at a marching band contest, or guarding a bathroom during standardized testing, please describe in excruciating detail what shoes you are wearing.
I have on right now a pair of the V2 350 Yeezys.
That's correct.
They are I want to call it the lime green.
Well, it's the Yechiel, right?
Yeah.
Yecheil.
Yeah.
Non-reflective. A man after my own heart right now.
Yes. I freaking love these shoes. They're so comfortable. They did cost me a pretty penny, but I don't care.
Word.
Just because I really like shoes. I love shoes. I love clothes.
Yeah.
I love fragrances. I love watches. I love everything that is bourgeoisie. like wallets, like everything, like Louis.
You like accoutrement?
Louis Vuitton. I love accoutrement.
Yes.
So it's amazing. I love them, and this, I mean, isn't the last pair that I'll get.
No,
so
no, I love them. They are Yeezy Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2s. And noticed them the minute you walked in.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, you got them.
It's like it's like the shirt that says I make shoe contact before I make eye contact. That's my life. So, would you call yourself a sneakerhead?
I wouldn't call myself a sneakerhead.
No.
I wouldn't. I do buy them just because I like diversity in my apparel, diversity in my shoes. I like to be able to have one style one day, have one style another day, be able to go out in the streets and be able to go into like a presentation or conduct a band or do whatever.
Yeah. So how many sneakers would you say you own?
Oh my God. I'm going to say I own probably over 30 pairs.
Okay. All right. And then do you count couture luxury sneakers into that, or is that a different category?
I'll put the luxury sneakers into that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was about 30 or so.
Okay.
And then the rest of that is like dress shoes, so slippers.
How many would you say you have of those?
I'm going to say I have almost over 40 pairs of those.
That's a nice collection. You gotta look good.
You gotta look good.
Shoe changes.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
People are looking up to me for
and looking down at you too.
And
you know,
looking down
at your feet.
I'm like, hey, my eyes are up here. But yeah, I mean, I love to dress. I love anything that's fashion. I just love it. I really do. You know, it makes me happy.
That's awesome. I love that. I love it.
If you need any styling done, let me know.
Oh yeah, yes. Do you have a most prized shoe? Whether it's a sneaker or a dress shoe or a slipper or a sandal or a slide or
prized. I don't think I have a most prized. I just like wearing them. I really do enjoy these though.
They're comfortable, aren't they?
These I have. I think they're amazing shoes. I do.
I agree.
People will call them ugly, but they're so ugly I have to wear them.
It's like we said before we got on. I mean, sometimes it's so ugly it's cool.
So terrible that you have to get it.
You have to. The louder the better, right?
Yeah.
Ostentatious, as they say. That's right. Hey, we're in Austin.
Hey.
Yeah. So what's next for you, Shiree?
Well, I first have to get through this doctoral program.
You're only one semester in.
I'm only one semester in. So I have to get through this doctoral program, which has been a great journey so far, like I said. After the doctoral program, who knows? You know, I'm looking to attain a position at a university, whether entry level, which I know it will be, or something might happen. I might get lucky, and you never know how the heavens might open up. But you know, I'm open to whatever that is. I think that's what's next. I'm just open to the possibilities of whatever college position I achieve, and
right on.
That's pretty much it.
That's cool. Is there anything you want to plug? Like, hey, I'm in the Austin area. Band directors, if you're looking for a clinician or a conductor.
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes. So for sure, like band directors in the Austin area, band directors in the Dallas area, Houston area, or even the United States.
That's right. There's airplanes.
Like, I would love to come and be a part of your program and to work with your students. Even as a clinician for the band, or even as a contest judge, for solo and ensemble, or whatever it is. I'm here to help. I'm here to hopefully give some insight into what it is that we do as music educators and how we can enrich that experience for our kids. So, hey, if you need me, I'm here.
That's right. That's awesome. Well, Shiree, it has been a pleasure to have you here today.
Pleasure's all mine.
You're an absolute delight. I feel like we should hang out. If only Ogechi had introduced us sooner.
Well, she's selfish, and so
she's. I mean, we throw this word around a lot, but she really is literally the worst.
Yes, she is
the worst,
and I'm going to tell her that.
You'll play
at home.
You should. We should both text her. Everyone listening to this right now, text Ogechi Ukazu and say, "You are the worst.
You're the worst."
The worst.
In all caps. The worst.
This episode of Sketchbook Podcast is recorded, edited, and produced by me, Daniel Montoya Jr. in Austin, Texas. Our logo is created by John Suh of Purpose Designs, and our music is provided by Epidemic Sound. If you enjoy Sketchbook, tell a friend about the show or share a link on social media. You can rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts, and you might find your review featured on a future episode. Got questions, comments, suggestions, or concerns? Email us at sketchbookpodcast@gmail.com. It too could be featured on a future episode. Be sure to follow us on Twitter @SketchbookPod and join the Sketchbook community on Facebook @Sketchbook Podcast. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Sketchbook Podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Thanks for listening.